Well, new adventures await, buddy.
Money to the grave, money till I die. So Okay, what?
Jackie is trolling us.
Great start.
Yes.
Way to throw me, Jackie. I was really building myself up and you took me right back down. Humbled me. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another community Q&A. I am joined by Lynx, who you all know, and David Van Pelt,
Hello.
who is becoming somewhat of a series regular.
Yeah.
Yark is not able to join us today, so it'll be us taking and answering your questions. Thank you all for throwing...
He would be, but we didn't invite him.
He was not allowed. He was banned from today's community Q&A. Thank you all for sending in so many questions on the Discord. We have a lot to go through already, so we're going to go through these pages that I very professionally printed out and color-coded beforehand, and then we'll get into some of the stuff in your chat, unless we, kind of go back and forth. But first of all, how are you guys doing? You super psyched to be here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stress.
Yeah, stressed. Lynx has got a meeting pretty soon after this one, so he might cut out just a minute or two beforehand, but we'll see how it goes. So let's get right into it. We're going to start off with some of the technical questions that you guys sent into the Discord, and I'll just go through them one by one. So this one is from Kieran_30. Are you adding the feature where you'll be able to play on keyboard and mouse on console while playing Rockay City?
You know more about it. So.
Yes.
Yes, okay, all right.
So, we are going to add it eventually, but it's not anytime soon. It is in our backlog, but it will have to wait a bit.
Copy that. All right, next one. Santar asks, why did you decide to change the bot menu back to hold again and change up which buttons do what on controller in Update 11? Will we get to change both of these back?
So the main motivation behind this is the new chat wheel that they required a quick response time, but this is not ideal at this point yet, so we will be still looking into that and how to solve it, so everyone is happy about it.
Very well. Tricky Jeebus. This is a two-parter. Will you be adding FSR 3 to help improve performance FPS? And do you also think performance has something to do with map size and civilian numbers?
So FSR 3 is not coming anytime soon. If ever, we are on Unreal Engine 4.27, and I do not believe that Epic will implement FSR there, and this would make it a huge undertaking for us to actually add. Doesn't mean permanently no, but do not expect it anytime soon. As for the other one, performance, so our biggest performance bottleneck right now is actually the movement of the characters. So more characters means bigger issues. We are working on this, but yes, map size and amount of AI in general actually affects performance for sure.
All right, very well. Bear Fox. Okay, this one I kind of split into two because there's balancing and technical questions. This is kind of falls into both those categories. Will co-op multiplayer, and I think maybe they meant single player here, ever be a thing? Also, please consider not fixing the SWAT vans. They bring me great joy. So will co-op, I'll say that they meant single player. Will co-op single player ever be a thing?
Well, I think they mean co-op multiplayer. They mean co-op campaign actually. Is my guess. And we have already hinted that we want to take a look at it. It is a huge technical undertaking for us because it is not just a press button and suddenly it's multiplayer, but we are trying to still to find out how we can serve this need to be in more persistent Rockay City in multiplayer. This is something that you are asking for, we hear it, but it's not just very quick fix. So we are looking into that.
Okay.
And regarding the cars, I have bad news. Or he has bad news.
Yeah. I hope I have bad news. I do believe it should no longer be happening in update 11.1. If it is still there, then you will have joy a bit longer at least.
Okay. I think I just realized that I said co-op single player, which is an oxymoron.
Well...
Yeah. Well, yes. Okay. Negan in Dead City Season 2. That's the name of this guy. He calls himself Negan in Dead City Season 2. Very specific. This isn't about the game, but what console is easier to develop for, Xbox or PlayStation? Maybe this is a little bit... can we answer this? And does Microsoft or Sony help if there's a problem with a patch?
You know that saying, you can have this color in this car in any color as long as it's black. So yes, we can answer this.
Yeah.
We actually discussed this specific question with David a few minutes before, because...
Yeah, I prefer PlayStation, but that has a good reason. I work a lot more with PlayStation in general here. So I'm just used to the tools and everything. Both are great, really. I mean that. But for me, working on PlayStation is just a lot more comfortable because I work with it a lot more often. For the second part, yes, they are both actually very supportive. We can send in tickets, and they actually really try to help us if something is wrong.
Nice.
You may have heard stories from the Days Gone, honestly. I mean the general Days Gone, not the game. Good game, by the way. That they are like pain to work with or whatnot. Not to my experience. I actually am very happy that we can cooperate with them. I prefer Microsoft because I like their backend a little bit more, but not by a huge margin. So yeah, it's fine.
Oh, cool. Split decision. Nobody's upset. Math Hypers. Why is the pump on the SPX changed? That is Jupiter's weapon, by the way. Changed into a vertical grip. I like the previous one.
It's artistic choice.
Artistic choice. The HAL 5657, 5657. Will there be any plan to address the game's install size?
Yes. There already was a little, I think it was like 8 gigabytes, maybe, or something like that in update 11. And I didn't measure it for 11.1, but there should be a little bit less space demand still.
Yeah.
So we are looking at it as well. We know that is an issue.
All right. And for those of you who maybe have asked these questions and are thinking, well, you left some stuff out, it's only so I can cut it down a little bit so we can get through all of them because there's a lot of questions here. Fluffy Max, you guys aware that your daily reward seems to be tied to the system clock with no online check allowing for easy grinding?
Do you want to take it or do you want me to take it? Because I actually told him what he's supposed to say. So no, we were preparing a little bit, not a big part. So my general take on this is, if you really want to go through the hoops of changing your system, maybe a small change to get one more daily reward, who am I to tell you not to do that? At the same time, it might go away soon.
So maybe while it is,
I'm quite sure that our player base is relatively or quite smart actually. So there will be in next Q&A there will be another question. Do you know that if you change this and this, you can do this?
You can still do
yes.
it. Yeah.
And I'll be yes, and we already invested some time into this, and I just don't want to invest time into this because guys, it's your game, as David told me. So.
Yeah.
Play the game how you want.
Yeah.
There's also the part that we have the offline mode, right? You can play the game offline, and we don't want to limit your gameplay experience then suddenly by being like, you don't get daily rewards if you play offline. So even when we do the online check, which actually is implemented in a future update, we still support you to play in offline mode. So there are always ways, and we kind of don't want to stop that because that would actually make the player experience worse in the end.
Right. Okay.
You can, as a developer, you can easily fall into the trap of we will invest our development time into this check, but it doesn't work, so you will go through next process to actually check something that doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't matter that much. But you can invest thousands of dollars into this. And why? So it's because someone changed their clock number?
Keep it simple. There you go. Okay.
And then you have always online games that do this stuff, whatever.
And then the servers go down.
Yeah.
Terrible. I want to take a brief pause to see if there's anybody that's asking questions in the chat right now so we can keep up to date with what's going on there. I feel some camera placements in import-export, an undocumented change. Sometimes feel a little too sneaky in some spots where you won't see them until it's too late. Have there been camera changes, placements?
Yeah, I think there were actually, because we were made aware by a special someone that it's too easy. And this is we will come to this a little bit more, to the difficulty part of the whole game, because it was a very frequent topic in the questions.
Yes.
So there were added some, depends also on difficulty that you play on, but then it's hard to please everyone. Also.
Right, yeah. So checks and balances, right? We're working on it actively.
And we will never stop on the
We'll never
I guess.
Yeah. All right, versing the games. Two-parter. Will crossplay be possible between PC and consoles, or even just PS5 to Xbox? And I'll that's kind of a bigger one, so I'll let you guys answer that one first before I go into the next one.
It's our intention. For crossplay, like we said it before, we really want to do this. There is some active work on it. You also need to clear that out with both Microsoft and Sony.
And we have 2 teams right here for both, so
yes,
we can
yes.
merge together.
It's our intention, and we will keep you posted whenever we have updates on it.
Well done. Very professional answer from David Van Pelt. Will you also add an option to leave missions in single player and take the L? Then he gives a longer reason for this, but...
I remember the question.
Yeah.
So we assumed that it was due to the fact that the customer or the player lost the campaign because Baker died in the end. So in that specific mission it's not possible, obviously, because in some missions you can do it. You can just walk to your van and say, I don't want to be here anymore. That specific mission, no. If we will make changes to the design of all missions, it is possible. We are looking into a mechanic that would actually allow to redeem yourself. I don't want to spoil too much about it in such manner, so I'm just, try again.
Right, okay. So stuff to come.
Yeah. But we are looking into it.
This is from, and I might butcher this, Atescoma. I like your game and wants to translate it to my language. Can I do it? If not, maybe consider a community translation project and upload the files to platforms like Crowdin.
This is a question for File 5. For us, we don't have the right to promise anything in this manner. So please try to contact them. But there are pros and cons to the community translations. Obviously, sometimes they are really better than the commercial one, and sometimes people just troll you. So
yeah, I can see that definitely happening.
So unfortunately, I cannot tell you yay or nay myself.
RDLF4. I'd like to ask, is this game ever going to be optimized for Steam Deck? I don't mean playing it at its lowest resolution possible. I mean some serious optimization.
So we did what we could, or we did our best rather. It's fully Steam Deck certified. It actually runs quite well. There's special optimizations for Steam Deck specifically. I don't want to promise anything more than we have right now. Like, we always continue on optimizing the game in general, and all of these optimizations will in the end help on Steam Deck as well, or hopefully. But there's no plans specifically for Steam Deck.
Okay.
From this point onwards, at least.
All right. A few more questions in the chat here. Let's see. Have you ever considered making the campaign hub interactive? It'd be cool to be able to walk around, have a drink, play darts. Oh, okay, I think
it's one of the questions.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. So maybe we can just answer that now for this the office space.
Yes, we did, and sometimes we still talk about it. But please take into consideration that the resources are limited, and it's a question then if we want to introduce new mission or work on this, and this would not be a task for a week or for 2 weeks. It would be a task for probably multiple months, and not only talking about art but also about the logic inside. So far we always chose to bring new missions rather than work on this.
It's at least the price of a whole big heist, so it's a lot, and it will take quite some reworks. That being said, yeah, it's something we spoke about a lot, and I think we have it in mind still very often. Just not for now.
Like in the short or mid-term, I don't think it's on the table.
So it seems to me like, because we got a lot of content questions, which I think has been internally thought of a lot here already as well. But it's kind of just what is priority and what to bring to people sooner rather than later, but we'll get to more of that later. Let's go over the simple stuff right now. Brick Lover, lots of questions from Brick Lover.
Yes.
So this is a two-parter. Since the bug fix on the Hidden Vault, the rewards are worse than before now, outclassed by Gold Cup 500k. Do you guys plan to fix the Hidden Vault to be worth more like before, to almost have the same amount as Gold Cup?
we will definitely do something about it based on the feedback. Like I'm not sure if in 11.1 isn't something actually already. I don't know, but we will continue to do so. Like guys from the beta testing group are very valuable in providing feedback towards that, and we will just work.
All right.
It is a never-ending story.
Never-ending story. Does Shuffles also? This is the same from Brick Lover.
Yep.
Does Shuffles also reward extra money from full completion? Oh wow, from full completion. If so, how much from it?
Did you get the answer for it? Because we were checking with the designer just before we went here, but I don't know if you get the answer or not.
Not on time.
Okay,
gotcha.
Sorry, I am quite convinced, and there is. I don't know.
I'll get an answer. I'll go back into the Discord later, and I'll respond to you personally, Brick Lover. Tricky Jeebus again. This is now moving on to the bug section. Will the studio fix the brick being detected as an enemy bug? Sometimes guard just alarms just by seeing the brick, even when I'm fully hidden.
Yes.
Yes.
It is harder than it sounds.
If you have any idea why it's happening or under what circumstances, we are looking for more information. But it's a high priority bug for us. We are investigating it. But yeah, as Link said, it's harder than it sounds.
It sounds stupid, but it's really harder than it sounds.
Yeah, it also just happens rarely. So for us to actually get the data that we need, it just takes a lot of time and iterations before we actually get there. But definitely, we are going to fix it eventually.
If you know how to make it happen, write Jack.
Right.
He will tell us.
Yes, if you go to the Discord, we have a whole bug report section that Raggy, Ben set up, and if you can, record the situation or just kind of describe in detail how that brick thing happened to you, that really helps the dev team out here get to the bottom of it. Okay, Lux QSD. Why hasn't the disabled equipment throw bug for clients in multiplayer been fixed yet?
So, funny story, it was.
Yes. Has a bit to do with our pipelines. We fixed it for update 10. Then we didn't actually port it to update 11, which was a big oops. But
He means we are sorry.
yes. It should be fixed now for update 11.1 again. That being said, for update 10 we fixed one cause, and we noticed there are still some occurrences, a lot less, but still some. So that one is reapplied on update 11.1. We also found another cause which is also applied on 11.1. There might still be some occurrences, but it should be a lot less right now.
Nice. Okay. Pluto 427 standing hashtag. I'll just skip that part.
Is it longer than the question?
It's pretty close to it. Is the mag for the Scout 14 going to be fixed? I was not aware of anything going on with the mag. Did you guys?
Yeah, I saw that and I actually wanted to take a look, but I didn't have time, so I will check it. I assume there is missing ammo or something like
Does
this.
anyone in chat know?
Yeah. Does
Someone
anyone in
knows.
chat know if there's any problems with the Scout 14 magazine? Let us know and we'll come back to it. Actually, let's take a look at the chat real quick. Will you make civilians useful and loud? Maybe delay heat. Could you expand on that a little bit, Tricky Jeebus? Question: before we were able to stack boss perks 1 and 2. Now we can only upgrade to tier 3 and have a single perk of that type. Swift, for example. Why the change? Probably just for balancing reasons, I imagine. So you don't have Swift 1, 2, and 3 in your perks?
You don't?
No, when you upgrade it,
Oh yes,
you just
like
have
this. I
the
understand
highest
now.
version,
Yeah,
and you can only apply that once.
So this ties into a bigger question actually that I wanted to talk about later, but I can now, I guess. So the perks underwent a little change now, so they are not part of the progression, rightfully so, in my opinion. And I think there is still some work left with us making them enticing enough to start creating builds, like specific builds that would complement each other. So let's say there would be a support build, there would be a melee build, there would be carrier build and what's not. So right now we had like how to put this. I don't want to say random because they're actually very well thought through by our designers, but there wasn't the meta building idea behind it, and this is something that is changing. So it would tie into some specific build on itself. It doesn't need to be minimaxed like this. It is not the purpose of it, in my opinion, and shouldn't be.
Gotcha. So there's plans to add on more onto it in the future. Yeah. All right.
Did I say it so confusingly? Like in the
Oh, but
so would you like to translate?
no, it wasn't that bad. It's fine.
No, I got it. Yeah.
I went into my thinking mode. It doesn't end well. Sorry.
We are just planning to do more with the builds in general, right, and the perks, and we are rolling out those changes. I understand it's a bit getting used to, especially because you were just able to stack and make a mega stealth build that never got detected. Now it's slightly different. Plays again also into the balancing. From here we will read the feedback. If you guys are too unhappy about the impact of perks because you can no longer stack them, we can take a look at that. I think this was also done just for UX purpose. Like you upgrade the perk, you apply it, just to keep things simple. But we read the feedback and we will see. For now this is how it works, and with more perks coming out and having interesting builds to make, this might actually be a good thing. So just give it a bit of time, try it, and we will see.
All right. So somebody answered about the Scout 14 magazine missing texture. It's untexturized.
Okay, my bad. I'll look into it.
We'll fix it.
We will fix that. Okay.
That's just a bug.
I've reported it a couple of times now. Thomas Gaming. Thomas, are you talking about the same thing?
The
Okay.
texture.
Okay.
So he reported
The texture.
The texture. Yeah.
Okay. It did. Sorry.
We will fix it. Yeah. No, nobody's sorry.
I don't know where, so
Yeah,
it's hard for me to react.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
BRG. Any update on Horde mode? He said Nightmare Horde mode, but
Well,
What's horde mode?
what? Yeah. What? That's on the roadmap.
I don't know, but it sounds spooky. So
It sounds spooky. It's on the roadmap. Julia Wolf says, just want to say, I really love the game. Have a lot of fun with it. It is addicting as hell. Thanks for all your effort. Thank you so much for saying that. We really
take
appreciate
your
the kind
time
comments.
to drink and eat healthily and play Crime Boss. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, so yes, there is updates. It's going well, and we hope to make your Halloween a little bit more, I don't know, crazy.
Spooky.
What's crazy? I would say.
Crazy. Is that a good description, crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. C.L. Brandon, will we get an option to restart the heist as opposed to surrendering? It will be a huge time saver and having to reselect the mission after surrendering. That, well, just from my own personal opinion, sounds like maybe it defeats the purpose of the roguelite, but I could be wrong. What do you guys think?
Are discussing it, but basically the biggest discussion is about the point that you said. It would defeat it. At the same time, like, we are not PvP game, maybe on the low difficulty, something like that. But it's again, it's not just 2 hour work of adding a button.
Well, actually, we can say about the multiplayer that we are planning to do it.
Yep.
It was actually a technical reason. We were holding it back a bit, which I believe is fixed in update 11.1. So we will actually see the data there, and if that is all working out as we hope, then I think for the multiplayer we can add it soon.
Nice. Okay, we're nearly almost halfway through this thing, and there's still plenty of questions to go, so I'm going to get back to the pages real quick.
There was plenty of questions to begin with.
Yeah, there's so many. So now going to something pretty big from Update 11 is the balancing questions. Another one from Brick Lover. I won't mind the game being harder, but do you guys plan to make difficulty rewards a bit more worth to play as the game gets harder?
This is again something that we will continuously read upon the feedback and address. Like it is a little bit subjective, I would say, if it is worth the extra challenge or not.
Because everybody receives it differently.
Yeah, but
as far as how challenging it can.
there are contradicting questions even on your list. Like there is someone saying it's too easy, someone saying it's too difficult,
Right.
and we are trying to just make it work, obviously, for both of those people or both of those categories of people. But we are really reading the feedback, and we really want to just continue improving it.
Yeah. So the more you guys leave us, the more we have to go off of. Is there any reason?
Can I have one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because Flavio is mentioning that the bullets have textures on 11.2. That's actually an 11.1 build that Flavio is trying, because Flavio is one of our beloved beta testers, which means we fixed it in 11.1.
Oh, there you go.
I actually pushed guys towards it. There is so many things happening, guys. Sorry,
No, you're good.
It's
11.1 actually has a quite impressive changelog for a dot version. I'm quite
like
happy.
27.
I even think
tickets,
more.
I think.
We tackled a lot of issues, so that version should really be a lot better. So I'm quite excited to get that out there very soon. So it's good.
Yeah, but we are not allowed to say when, but
Soon.
Soon.
And not game dev soon, but actually soon.
Okay. Nice. Is there any reason why there was a lot of stuff nerfed? Team member perks, comeback perk, Jupiter with 3 bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I already tied into this.
Yeah.
And it's coming in waves, obviously, and maybe, surely, for example, I could have communicated it better, or we could have communicated it better prior, that there will be more changes. But I hope it will make all sense in a few weeks.
Yeah. In due time, there will be stuff to come to the game that will add to it and hopefully alleviate some of these.
Also, with 11.1, this is one very important thing that we neglected, we didn't do in update 11 itself. There is a substantial decrease of price for the perks, for example, happening. So that they are actually attainable in near future for the players, not 5 million away, or actually like 9 million away when you start from zero. So that is also tied in a little bit.
Nice. Okay. I'm sure you guys might saw a suggestion about public lobby rewards changes. And do you guys? Yeah.
So we are actually looking into that.
Okay. Public lobby rewards.
Yeah. You want more details or not?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
We don't know exactly yet, but we are looking into tying it to the number of players into a public lobby rather than just having it. It's public, so it's fine. So more players, more rewards.
Okay. Very nice. Sorry if I'm going a little rapid fire here. Just want to make sure everybody gets their question.
Continue.
Pedo Bear Skittles.
No, thank you.
Difficulty changes feels extreme when the enemies are harder.
That's not what the question says. Yes, and I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge that we should have done that better.
Maybe tie in also the explanation. Something went wrong. We fixed the game, which is unexpected. Our AI actually had some issues with pathfinding, making some decisions, which made them respond in general a bit slower. And right now they are performing a lot better. They are going to the doors quicker, they get to you faster. And we did that at the same time as actually just increasing the difficulty slightly. What it resulted in is increasing the difficulty by a lot, because the AI just got better. This is not really our intention. We are doing some fixes in 11.1.
Yep.
We will continue to look at it. We just want the game to be fun. So don't worry, we are listening. And we are fixing it, but in a different way this time.
All right. Spooky, can the loot experience amount for import and export potentially be looked at with all the changes done to it?
Yeah, we should.
Yes, we should. Hansarik, now we're getting into some of the more content ideas and your guys'
Okay, can we take a...
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So I see that there is Dr. Victim. Haha. Are you supposed to get a stealth strike when entering Cagnali Fortress elevator? Actually, this is part of the design, and I have discussed it with designers. And maybe it will change in the future, maybe not, but this is not a bug at this point.
All right. Anything else? Tricky Jeebus, yes. For making civilians useful and loud, just suggesting if you have more tied up hostages, you can delay heat buildup and maybe civilians be traded for resources. Okay, so you're talking like a hostage system.
This is something that other games do. One specific in mind. I don't want to comment on it really.
Okay, then we don't have to. Pangy's in.
What I understand.
Are the new perks coming in update 12? Probably couldn't.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a hard maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, because I cannot talk about it.
Aggro. In Defend Business Partner, how to get extra money listed in mission description.
I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry, that
No
wasn't
worries, no
part of the
worries.
question.
Please try to find it
Yeah.
out and then let us know. And then we can actually ask the designer of that mission to maybe jump into the Discord and throw some explanation there.
Yeah.
Or maybe some other people in the Discord or in the chat already know and they can help you out.
I'm sorry, I know I have brought shame to my...
I'm just happy I'm surviving missions. Like extra money is such a weird thing to me.
All right, here we go with the more content stuff. Hansrick says, can you make common heisters individuals with unique names and different voices for each? Also add axe for axe.
So, names, not a problem. Voices, actually a problem. Because they are very expensive. And for some reason, the actors don't like using AI anymore. They never did. Understandably. X for X, yes, I myself have a dream that we will add a lot of melee weapons, and there is a shout out to one of 505 QA guys who really wanted an umbrella, and I really want to do it. I still want to do it. I remember
What's it called?
umbrella.
Umbrella. Oh, okay,
So,
gotcha. Yeah.
For Mozart.
Yeah, for Mozart. That'd be
Yeah.
good. Yeah, for sure.
So that's a great idea, and I want to do a lot of those because I just want it is needed.
Yeah.
But
think?
priorities.
There's something about the melee in general, but we will see soon enough.
All right. The HAL 5657. In regards to the Jupiter change, is this leading into a potential bad carrying skill being added to the game, likely lead to power creep situation? We talked a little bit about this before stream.
Maybe.
Are new character types being added?
That depends what is the character type. Like, really. We looked at this question with David and we don't understand the question. So
I
if
think
there is
maybe they're
an
talking
outer,
about like how there's thief and brute and mercenary, right?
so
Like
we are not working on new characters like this, but we are working on something to widen the variety of the characters as we have them now.
all right. Maxow, do you plan to add more defense mechanics and gameplay in the future after this new restaurant mission?
So since it feels like you guys like it,
Yeah, it's pretty well received.
then yes.
All right. Tommy gun still planned? Was that ever still planned?
Well, this was
That's
my
the first time
reaction
we-
as well. So there is this a little bit problem called trademarks, and there are some lawyers that tell us that we should never do it, and I'm trying to tell them that I would really like to do it eventually, but this is a potential legal issue, so we are not working on it now.
Does that go for like the actual art of the weapon itself, like how much it resembles the weapon, or is it just
depends
the name?
because in US, for example, that shouldn't be a problem anymore. But unfortunately, we are not only in US; we are also in European Union, and we are others. So the precedence is not applicable in EU for the US justice system, obviously,
Right.
or not to the same degree. So
Okay.
this is such a headache with some of those iconic weapons, and I'm really sorry that I'm rambling about it, but I know about it, and I know too much about it actually. So not in the near future.
Copy that. All right. Is it intentional that destroying the disabled camera doesn't trigger a strike?
Yes.
Okay, so when you disable a camera with the remote jammer,
Yep.
okay, gotcha. It doesn't cause a strike. That's something I didn't know.
It was not intentional for cameras to wake up when they were deactivated with camera deactivation machine, security portal or security monitor,
Yeah, no,
and then using EMP on them, then they would reactivate. That was a bug.
Sergeant Panda, are there plans to give story-related characters permanent benefits for doing their story mission in the future runs? Did you read this question?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't remember it.
It was the thing where I
so
said,
like Jupiter, starting with
okay.
the yeah.
Okay, I understand now.
I would say maybe before we had that discussion, not so much, but we like the idea.
But not in the same way. Like, it wouldn't make sense for the character mission of Jupiter to start with a shotgun, because then the character arc would be ended in first mission because you would shoot.
I think that's what they mean. Like, if you have played the character mission before, then it's like a permanent benefit until that character dies, and then you'd have to play the character mission again. Like,
like
like that. So it's just like it's part of your crew.
Yeah.
Not until now, and now we need to talk about it.
Okay.
Because it's a good idea.
Now it's part of the conversation. Rad Dogamal. Since they've gotten visual touch-ups, any plans for character stories to become playable standalone? I think we've discussed this on previous streams, actually.
There is something coming, and I hope it might be even in next update. Not the small one, the bigger one. That would sate this need. Sorry, that was creepy. Yes, we would like to bring it to you in more concise manner.
Nice. All right. Santar, are there any plans to make the multiplayer exclusive characters like gloves playable in the roguelike campaign in the future?
And not in the works now.
Not in the works now. Razor Ray. So how big of an ask would it be to get an explorable office? I think semi-open worlds eventually.
So
we talked about this one. Yes.
Already.
All right. Yeah.
So
big ask.
A medium ask.
Medium ask.
If that's a medium ask, then what is a big ask?
Yeah.
Co-op campaign.
Co-op campaign is
a big ask.
Okay.
Yeah. Good point. Suva. More rewards for beating the campaign. I haven't played it at all since I got the last ones.
See?
Yeah, we were talking about that. It's a bit it's interesting actually, because right now you are getting the multiplayer skins from it, right, for character skins, and a lot of people are not so happy that you have to play the campaign to get a reward for the multiplayer, right? So if we are adding more things there, then we will likely first have to find some different rewards to give you that apply on the campaign, probably. I'm not saying it's not going to happen at all, something for the multiplayer, but right now we feel a bit, how would you say it in English? Like it's not so...
Try Dutch, it's fine.
It doesn't help me. We don't really want to force you to play the campaign to play multiplayer. That's not really our intention. We want you to try it, of course, but to have to do 20 campaign runs to get your favorite skin, just not our intention. So we will have to find some way to reward you without forcing other players to play content they might less enjoy.
Gotcha.
I think there will eventually we will add something, and it will not be like in 5 years. It will be sooner, much sooner. But right now we are actually trying to accommodate the other part of the spectrum of the people, and that would be to give them an opportunity to get some of those now unique rewards outside of the campaign. Spooky,
right
spooky.
Right on. New enemy types for difficulties and changes to the already existing would be great as well. Just making waves harder with more grenades and damage doesn't feel like enough.
Yeah, I agree on all of those points.
Do you concur?
Yeah.
We all concur. Darce. Will Turf War Goons get more weapon variety, and could it include DLC guns like...
Sorry.
No,
we discussed this.
Yes.
And...
we said yes. So definitely the DLC guns into the Turf War.
Some of the enemies already have some of the DLC guns.
Yes.
But Turf War is even, like, it's a good idea that didn't occur to us, I guess.
Yeah. So we will look into it.
Will there also be more purchasable options in the campaign? Currently, once you complete one big heist, money is not a problem for the rest of the campaign. Repeatable assets, more campaign upgrades, etc.
Yeah. But not like in 11.1, not in update 12, I think, but eventually...
we don't have anything in the works right now, but or do we? Long term?
I think there is something, but like not 27 new assets. Like it will be just some variety, I think.
Okay.
Eventually.
Lastly, the idea of spending soldiers to increase mission rewards and sometimes gain a boost in missions is a great one and should be applied to more missions, including even early to mid-game ones like warehouse and malls. So I guess they mean is there plans to use your soldiers for more things.
That's Intel, basically Intel gathering. It can snowball. It is something that was taken into consideration, and if there will be enough feedback that it will be like taken in consideration again, it's fine.
Very nice. Spiky Pancake. Are there any upcoming campaign expansions in the works or updates to existing content?
Yes.
Yes. Tricky Jeebus again. So many from Tricky Jeebus. Possible to change the weapon and gear stats to numerical instead of just bars. So I think right now, yeah.
So technically it is possible, but we are not working on it at this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know. We need to talk about it, I guess.
Potential.
Yeah.
Flandre Scarlet. I was hoping if you could add a sound cue for the white cops, or how to word that better? The stun cops.
Yeah, we were talking about this, and I would really like to do this for the special enemies. We didn't yet. There are priorities and stuff, but I would really like to have this.
Okay. Darce or Dark again. Is there a sound effect for them turning on their electrical batons?
Something like that.
Yes, I believe work was done on it. I'm not completely sure if it's not 11.1 even. It might be update 12. I know that someone was working on it recently.
All right, nice.
Even better. Good job.
Pedo Bear Skittles. Back once again. Could you guys add incentives for completing shuffle runs? I think we already touched on that, didn't we?
No, that's different.
Is it different one? Okay.
Yeah, like more money for it?
For like completing, I think the shuffle runs vary in length from like 3 to 5 to 7 or something like that. Yeah, so different incentives for
Like
each of them.
The shuffle, completing the shuffle should be rewarded by extra resources being awarded to the player, if I'm not mistaken. But maybe there is not enough, or maybe there is an issue.
We can maybe work on the clarity there, like the amount that you get to actually separate it to make it visible. And 20% extra reward, something like that.
Very nice. Razor Killer 7768. Will there be more voice lines for the existing and future characters, adding variety and interesting stories or things to hear? Let it be lore.
That's for you.
That is for me. And I also saw a comment earlier about using the community voice actors again. That's an initiative that Yark proposed. And as far as I know, we are still doing that. We don't know when that will be implemented, but keep on sending them, because eventually we do have a plan to use that. For more voice lines and more characters, like Lynx said previously, it is expensive. But there will be more characters, and there will be more voice lines, so you can count on that. Chroma. On the note of single player, I really enjoy the recently added business defense mission, and I'd like to ask if there are plans to add more variety to army mechanics or the roguelike campaign beyond simple turf conquest or the occasional intel for mission.
It was a very long question.
That was a long question.
Very quickly.
Yeah. So I think this is the one I was getting confused with earlier. So I think they're asking if there's more ways to implement usage of soldiers.
That was the one before. Now I feel like this question is about like if there will be more variety and more like tactics, basically. So we have added in the previous updates like possibility to sabotage the enemy gangs. Then now there is the defense thing, and there will be more subtle changes going in next update and the update after that. Like there is more things going on.
All right. Let's see if we can get one for you, David. We haven't heard from you in a while.
I'm quite okay.
Okay. Coming to the end of it here. Nay, what was the original vision for Crime Boss story-wise? Was it meant to be more serious? This is a good question for both of you, since you were around a lot longer than I have been.
Say again?
What was the original vision for Crime Boss story-wise? Was it meant to be more serious? I think it was always meant to be what it is, really.
Yeah,
right?
90s comedy.
Can't be, 90s
action
movie.
comedy. So
B movie.
Yeah. So the same. Plague Doctor. Cluster Brick when?
I hope soon. Please refer to our modding initiative.
Yes. Car Shop 22.
There is something I would like to follow.
Yeah,
up
go ahead.
on. The Tricky Jeebus. I remember last time the other dev, Big D. Sorry.
Big what?
Said that voice lines from main characters aren't expensive, blaming the Western journalists for that. But now it's expensive. I don't understand. Like, why would you? Who said that? And why would you assume that the main characters, like the Hollywood actors, would be cheap? If you can just please clarify that, because it's just like for the characters that were done, let's say in-house, that's fine, but the main cast, it's ridiculous actually.
Yeah, they've been in some big movies.
So please, Tricky Jeebus, let me know.
I have not been in big movies, and I was very affordable.
I was also very affordable. I didn't get paid at all for for my voice lines.
Are your voice lines still in the game though?
I hope not. It was terrible.
Because do we still have other people in the office?
Yeah, I think
for
Jarek is
technology
still
tools,
there.
right?
No, I
Is
think
Jarek
Jarek
still
is there as a hostage. No, as the civilian. Like, oh, poor guy or something. I
really?
think it's there somewhere still.
I've never heard him in the game yet. I'm
Oh,
going to go hunting
it's
for
terrible.
that. Car Shop 22. For the campaigns, the territory map would be bigger, so maybe adding like different zones or blocks or something like that.
That would be possible. We don't work on it now, but this is not ruled out at all. Like if we want to expand it really,
Yeah,
it's
it's currently not on the
possibility.
roadmap. We will see.
All right. The ability to permanently align yourself with one... Oh, he's got a lot of questions here. Align yourself with one of the other factions' gangs so you can play as one of their crime bosses on missions.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't be the king, would you? If you are permanently alive.
You'd be sharing the throne, and
Yeah.
Baker doesn't do that.
If you share the throne, there is no throne actually.
But maybe on these questions, because it kind of applies on both, what we are planning to do though for the campaign is to expand modability. So no promises there what the community is going to do with it, but we will try to make it easier for the modders to actually change the campaign in ways. So maybe we'll see some new maps from modders, or maybe we will see some different gangs from modders, but for us we don't have any current plans with it.
All right. I'll get through these last couple of questions pretty quickly so that we can answer some more of what's going on in the chat. For the campaign, could we get, this is from Weishni, could we get rewards based on different, I think we did that one actually. Fun question. Was Crime Boss always supposed to take place in Florida, or was setting different at first? What made you choose Florida?
So first of all, Rockay City is better than Florida. No, it was just like Miami Vice inspired, I would say. If look it up or don't, it's just
You know what I actually
one of
wondered?
those things from 80s crime,
Right.
like not high quality crime shows.
Yeah, just like something you turn on. Yeah. When flipping through the channels. I've actually wondered, because why is it Rockay City is inspired by Miami, but then not change the state name? So it's like Miami is turned into kind of Rockay City, inspired by Miami, but Rockay City is still in Florida.
I have no idea.
No idea.
Because we live in landlocked country in Czech Republic. And doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All right.
That's why.
Terrified
Good reason.
hashtag Road to Wiz challenge. This is probably beyond the scope of the game for the time being, or not a top priority, but what does the team think about possible IPs or other franchises collabing with Crime Boss?
So, yes, we're actually trying to talk about some stuff with some people that I really cannot name. This is not like a joke, but maybe something will come.
All right. Crow. Does the team have plans to include the option to buy heist assets in multiplayer?
This ties into the co-op thing, I would say, because the assets are actually somehow like affecting your single player abilities, let's say. So this is something that would be lesser priority in that task of getting you the co-op experience of conquering the Rockay City, actually. it wouldn't be the high priority. High priority would be the possibility to have the persistent map and play with your teammates.
We are thinking though about allowing you more customization inside the multiplayer. What that specifically means, I will leave out for now. But there are some plans there to allow you to buy stuff, just to personalize things more. So that part of the assets you might get a bit sooner.
Wow, this is so much stuff, so much content ideas. Last one. Terrified # Road to Wiz challenge again. Unsure how to word this, but could it be possible to let us change what voice the generic boss skins use?
Yes, in modding definitely, because that would be quite a big technical thing to give you an interface to change the specific one or specific ones, or they would also sound the same. So that's not an easy question to answer in that case. So modding would be the easy thing, but other than that, if something is really annoying, let us know. Or what is the motivation behind it? Tricky Jeebus
What's he
is
got?
replying.
Yeah, it was that dev response from me asking if the main cast voice lines could be changed and that continuing to use them is too expensive. The dev denied it, though, so got me confused. Sorry.
There is one thing that we still have some recordings, and we are extracting some voice lines from those recordings, which is not expensive because we already recorded them. So, for information, that's basically what we were foraging through for the playable KC and playable gloves. So we had a lot of material recorded in the past, and those sentences are being cut off and glued together so they make somehow usable like voice lines. So
Nice.
that's that. So guys, if we missed some question because we don't have that many time, that many
minutes left before the end of the stream.
So please repost them now so we can go through it.
Absolutely. So you know what we should do before we close things off? I think that since we're just coming off the tail end of Update 11, people had time to sit with it. The main 3 things I'll say that came from it were the changes, what's happened with the difficulty, Jupiter, and maybe some modding stuff. So maybe if you guys could just touch on those 3 things before we close it off.
Sure.
So the difficulty, if you don't mind, David, it was we did more changes that resulted in difficulty being much more harder than we anticipated or than that we wanted. And it will be better in 11.1, which will be with you very soon if nothing terrible will happen. What was the second one?
The changes to Jupiter.
Yeah. So it is part of ongoing initiative.
Yes.
We understand that some of you are not happy about losing the super overpowered skill, but soon it will be made better for you, I guess, even better than it was before.
All will be revealed.
All will be revealed, and we will continue working on the bigger picture, but this will come back for at least your boss.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then the last one, kind of beginning to integrate some more modding support, I think, yes?
Yes, so we rolled out some changes with update 11. Not so happy, there were still some things to fix. Those are fixed in 11.1. We have some of our dedicated modders already testing it and giving some feedback. And we are working on a GitHub page where we actually provide a place with information on how to get started, as well to download the project that you need for modding. We will publish this soon. I don't have the exact date time, but I think it will be around the rollout of update 11.1.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll make characters easier to unlock, less RNG. We are working on solution. We don't have it right now yet, but there is an idea that would solve this. We need public voice chat and crossplay.
Which one are you
So
looking at?
we don't have the voice chat on Xbox and PlayStation right now. We accidentally made it work for update 11, but had to revert that for reasons. Will be coming for PlayStation actually quite soon. For Xbox a bit later. And as well with crossplay, we are working on it. We want this, and yeah, definitely.
Will be there a fix for guards and cops seeing zip-tied captives through buildings? We have so hard time trying to reproduce this. We know it happens. It happened to me once, for example, and I know that it happens, but we have very hard time reproducing it, so we don't have enough information to fix everything. We have fixed parts, but it will take maybe a little bit more time. If you have any information, give it to Jack or
Yes.
guys. When crime was difficult? Hey, Flavio. So moving on. I don't understand the question.
When crime boss difficulty?
11.1 should be out very soon, and difficulty should be better.
No,
again.
he means the difficulty above extreme. We spoke about this in the past, kind of jokingly.
He wants it
Okay,
hard.
moving on.
He wants it even higher.
Modifier for multiplayer sessions to earn extra. Yes, it's in works, and the idea that was discussed on Discord is valid. Mods were addressed, I would say. Keep a good. Thank you, Tricky Jeebus. Yes, I read it correctly. Tony's only question I have is more medium, big. Yes, they are in the pipeline. We are working on some right now. Some will come soon. Some will come midterm, and that's basically what we want to continue doing. Soundtrack update. Okay, understand. Will be AI more optimized? We are continuously working on it.
We will try to give an update as soon as possible. There's things going on there, but we don't have anything yet. It's a bit of a legal thing as well. But I think we should push a bit for it, Links, the soundtrack update.
I am waiting for legal.
Yes.
I really am waiting for legal. Baker breakout heist when? Boomstick over. I don't know what you refer to.
AI optimization, we are actually working on some stuff. We'll try to provide some details on Discord probably.
Everything got answered except about Don Barbaro returning.
Because we don't know.
We don't know.
But you can find something in game now.
Any chance to add a consistent indicator that shows if a job started in louder stuff?
I hope Tomasz Mikola is looking, and we'll make notes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Matt Helzer. The only immersion breaking thing is the cop cars flying. Sometimes love.
Yeah, but we already had positive feedback towards that. So sorry.
Yeah, this is
we're
not
not
a
sure if we're
bug.
gonna
This
forget
is
it.
now
This
a
is now a
feature.
feature.
We will add wings for immersiveness, and then we will keep it as is.
Red Bull, please sponsor us.
Comet Chaser, could you please increase cash rewards and or lower the price of legendary items?
Yes.
Yes. Marcus, is Cagnale going to become a boss appearance?
What?
Is
Cagnale
Cagnale becoming
boss
going to
appearance.
be a boss appearance?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Someday, maybe.
Okay, guys. We're at the end of this now. We only got probably less than a minute left. But thank you for all your questions. We hope that we got to most of them at least. And again, if you didn't get your question answered, please at me or Raggy, Ben, in the Discord, and we will pass it on to the devs and we'll answer them again. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, David and Lynx, for coming on to answer the questions. We got through so much today. And what do you want to say to the people?
Thank you that you actually make time in your own time to look at these mocks.
Yeah.
And it's great to talk to you. Take care.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cagnale Zunder.
Back is loaded, always knew it from the beginning. I'm on it, there's the moment I've been waiting for. Another level controlling, where the cash at, where the bag at. I'm in love with the crime and I can change that. Million on my mind, money to the grave, money till I die. So what you say? I don't wanna hear you, shut your mouth. Put your hands in the air, you fucking clown. Give me all you got, yeah. Give me all you got, yeah. Bang, robbery, they be talking about the crime boss, yeah, that's me, Bang, robbery, they be talking about the crime boss, yeah, that's me, Where the cash at, where the bag at? I'm in love with the crime and I can change that. Where the cash at, where the bag at? I'm in love with the crime and I can change that. Money on my mind, money to the grave, money till I die. So what you say? I don't wanna hear you, shut your mouth, put your hands